let's stand.
Ja då, det går bra.
Let's stand up so we get some stretching and stuff like that. I have a gift card here. I'm gonna give it out to the most inspiring face during our stand-up. So, Victor, you're pretty greedy. Just need to smile and we need some self-confidence now. Please sit down. Have you ever said to yourself, am I really the guy to run this business? Do I have what it takes? I guess most of you have done it. Looking at your CVs, you might not be the guy or the person. You might not even spell right. But you're an entrepreneur. And you make things happen. Because that's what we do. I'm going to take you to, before Lina starts up, to Germany. We tried to enter Germany a couple of years ago, or several years ago. And we started by looking at CVs to hire an entrepreneur. Do you think that's a smart idea? I don't think there's such a thing. Few million Swedish crowns later, we went back home. But we took a learning. And we looked at Norway, and we found an entrepreneurial team in Norway, which we invested in. And that became a total different story. You know why? Because we make things happen. That's what entrepreneurs do. You know?
Yeah. I'd like to start where it all started. And that was less than 8 years ago. It started with a need from a full-time working, busy mom. And that was my sister-in-law, Niklas' wife, who had picked up kids from kindergarten, done the grocery shopping, been stuck in traffic jam, and all this on her way home from work. And when she came into the door, she said that, why can't I just reach out my hand at a traffic light and get a food bag in my hand? And when Niklas heard that, he was like, he started something, and maybe I can do something about it. And he talked to me. By that time, I was a nutritionist, graduated nutritionist, but it was hard to get a job by then. So I started a new education and completely different career. But what I most of all wanted to do was to work as a nutritionist and help people eat healthier. But when Niklas told me about his idea, I didn't really believe in it, because I thought that why would people eat what I had planned for them? Food shopping was the most funny thing I could imagine. Why would people let somebody else do that for them?
And I doubt it as well, because in the beginning it was so hard getting the new customers in. If I didn't mention about the German thing, it was a failure, a big failure, if I wasn't clear. It was really hard to get the new customers in the beginning. I remember those nights standing outside preschools. It was rainy and dark, and you stand there, hand out flyers, and you felt this is not taking off. We were really, really close to just give it up. But something happened, or actually, I made something happen that time. I had a meeting booked with a sports club in the area that we were running, right in the middle of the target group. Perfect kids, families with sporting kids. So this was kind of. I remember the day was I sat in the car before the meeting. It was like our final call, and once in a while I pray. So I say, like, dear God, now it's showtime. Either you help me or I'm out. And always good to have someone to blame. And I went into that meeting, and we had a good thing going on, and I mentioned our product. And I had done my homework that time, so I knew they were struggling with getting funds into their new football football field. So they were trying to get in gold members to pay extra. I shoot that question after a while. I said, how are you doing with this gold membership? And he said, like, yeah, we have 1,500 members, but like two or three gold members. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, I said. And what if I volunteer? I can call each and every one of them to sell this gold membership to you. And at the same time, they will get a really good discount on the food bag, and that's great. And actually, he bought that. So I went in there as nobody, and I went out kind of with the whole database in this perfect target group of ours. So after some month, we had like 300 customers, and all of a sudden we had the company and really something cooking.
Yes, and when we started, we didn't without any money in our pockets. We didn't raise money in the beginning, but what we had was our business idea and our time and the willingness to do it. And pretty soon we realized that we are, even though we're sister and brothers, we're very different. We're good at and interested in completely different things, which was perfect. I was fully focused on the food and the recipe and the product. Niklas concentrated on sales, marketing, building the brand and the business. So I started cooking in my own tiny, tiny little kitchen. And I was ordering food from the suppliers and had contact with customers, while Niklas was working to get the good deals and partnerships and so. And but also you were packing all the bags every Monday and deliver them home to the customers. And we also needed bags with a logo, but printed bags was far too expensive for us by then. And so we screen printed every single bag and let them hang in the living room to dry. And that not having any money and do everything on our own was really learning us something. We both to be cost conscious and to really know our products and the consumer behavior and to know how things really work and to be aware of all the challenges have been extremely valuable when we develop the new products and grow the company.
And growing has been my area, since Lina was on the piece of art. We had for us, scaling is kind of everything. We always talk about scale, and I'm going to try to walk you through our early business model that we had. We said scaling is more important than margins, because margins will always come with volumes. So let's try to get volume. And what we did was we tried to outsource everything that needed investments. So like pick and pack, we did in stores. We let several stores do the pick and pack, and the delivery was made out of delivery firms, couriers. So we had like no investments. So the balance sheet was really lean. But we said let's try to be a really good partner, because we're depending on these. Once we have 22 stores around Sweden doing the pick and pack, we're dependent on them. So let's be good to them. So we became a really good partner, and they were doing kind of good money to do partnership with us. But we had small margins. But it didn't do so much, because they were generous in another way. They gave us always long payment days on their invoices. So we had like 30 days when we paid our invoices, but we got our payment right pretty much upfront when we sold the bags. So that compensated bad margins in the beginning, because we were not too eager on results. And with that cash flow, we could invest in marketing. And that we did, and we were we counted many things when we did marketing investments. So we were not gambling too much. So after a while, we become self-confident, and we actually use that cash flow as kind of a seed money to invest in TV. So we did our first TV commercial partly on good cash flow. And when you do TV, if you're happy, you get many new customers, and that we did, that we got, and that brought volume. And with volume, you get bargain power, and with bargain power, you get profitable business. So my kind of, if you take a note in your head, sometimes gross margin isn't the most important in the beginning. It's perhaps better to scale, and margins will come.
Yes, and I saw we grew definitely, and I saw my face everywhere in commercials on TVs, on buses and trains, and on TV.
Hej, det är jag som är Lina, som är Linas Matkasse. Jag är dietist och jag står här och planerar bra middagar åt dig och din familj.
Gör som över 50 000 andra familjer. Testa Linas Matkasse. Bra mat och recept direkt hem. linasmatkasse.se.
Det var vår hemgjorda reklamfilm hemma hos Niklas. Min man var med, våra barn och jag. Det var en av de första filmerna vi gjorde, sen har vi gjort fler. Men oj, sorry. I changed to swap to Swedish. This was one of the first commercials we did. It was at Niklas' kitchen, and our kids and my husband and me and Niklas' wife was the speaker, and yeah. And from the start, we chosen to be very personal, both the way that we market the company, as you see, and in the way that we communicate to customers. And we're pretty sure that it's been one of the key factors for our success, because people really like to relate to a real person. And it still happens that when people contact our customer service, they start with, "Hi, Lina." And like, yeah, I'm not everywhere, even though people might think that. And also, but to carry a whole brand on your shoulder can sometimes be tough, especially if you care so much about the product and how it's perceived, and don't take things lightly. And if, for instance, a customer get a bag that they're not fully happy with, I mean, even small things like a bad onion, I could really take that personally and be sad about it. With the amount of fresh food that we delivered, that's inevitable that these things happens. But during the years, I've learned to handle it, because I mean, you have to try to improve the things that you're able to improve, and live with the things that you can't change. But most of all, being the face of the company has been a trigger for me to really do this as good as I can, and keep a high quality. We should be the best. And I always ask myself, do I believe in this? And does this correspond to our values? And having people around you that really believe in the product and for real care about it and love it, that's essential.
Yeah, and regarding face, what's your name? You're on top on this competition of nice face. But it's not over yet. We had a personal face in the brand, but we also had a personal company. We tried at least to do that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our culture. A couple of years ago, I realized things are going so easy. We have so few issues, and there's so much positive energy. Of course, it's helped when the company is doing well, but nevertheless, we're dealing with people. And I realized when I had the most important meetings, I scheduled them around staff events. So I wanted to impress the guy or the person I was to meet with my staff. For instance, these Norwegian guys that we invested in, I planned a summer party in Sweden just for having them over to meet my team, because I know that they will impress them, because they have so much good energy. And another thing regarding this, my colleague went up to me once and said, "Niklas, we have about 62 people on payroll." And I thought right away, wow, wonder what the names are. And the second was, I was stressed about it, because what if a bunch of new people coming in to this company of ours and start paint with other colors I don't like? So I took the decision, let's nail down, or let's write down the culture that we have. What I did, first I Googled what is kind of how do you do culture thing, and Wikipedia says something like the culture is some strategy that the leaders should offer or think through, blah blah. But since we had a good culture, so I wasn't out for a strategy because we already had it. So I asked all the colleagues. I said, you write your answers anonymous, so you can feel whatever, write whatever, and tell us what culture have we built, what colors are in the walls at our office. And it was nice to read. Why I did it was to know what to hold on to. So that we can have a steering document. That was the first thing. And the second was, since we're getting so much new people coming in, every new person need to read this so they know what to adopt to, and perhaps say, no, this is nothing for me. I was lucky in the beginning. We were lucky in the beginning. We built a core team with people that we still have. And they have painted really well on the walls. And a bunch of luck, because we choose the right people in the beginning, because they influenced where we are now. So be very picky when you choose people in the beginning, because they will have an impact what will come after. And for me, culture is a really good asset, actually.
I mentioned that me and Niklas are different. When Niklas get a boost by getting new customers in, I love reading and listening to what the customers think of us. And it has always been the best reward and my main drive through the years. And in the beginning, before we could take it in a salary, the customer feedback, the happy customers, was the best paycheck I could ever get. I actually didn't need anything else. And today, when I have a salary and we pay a lot of other people, this is still the thing that makes me keep on going. I really want to know what customers like, what they don't like, so we are able to, all the time, continuously develop the product. And as I said, I didn't believe in this idea in the beginning. And I couldn't imagine that I, just a few years later, would decide what people around Sweden would eat for dinner. And it's of course a dream for a nutritionist to having this opportunity to have a both healthy and positive impact on people's everyday life. But everything haven't been a success, as Germany, for example, when we entered Germany. And another was the pot coaster, I think it's called. This was my colleagues at the customer service. That you put hot pans on. We send them out to all the customers as a nice giveaway last summer, I think. And they should resist heat, but they didn't. I mean, they should do one thing. That's the only one thing they should do. And they didn't make it. And so our nice little gift caused marks on some customers' kitchen tables.
I mean, that was a disaster. We had 50,000 of them out there. And we're getting emails, our table is broken, or replace it. I mean, then you do things fast, because we need to inform everyone. So we need to make an SMS real quick to just say this. And we started the SMS on top of this bad thing already. We said, unfortunately, sad news. We started the text. I mean, people thought someone had died. And out of that, and then we of course explain things, but out of that we get more bad things coming in. So the days when you're not, the days when you sing the blues, you need to have a boost wall. That's what I have in my office. So I look at some figures that I'm proud of sometimes, and I'm not going to go through them all, but I think it's good for you to have. What have you done lately that's been good? Have you employed one new person? And that's a real good thing for you. This 67 is figure I like. That's how many deliveries we do per minute when we do delivery nights. That's more than 1 per second if you do a statistic. I like that. I think it's cool. Another thing, we have a project where we have had many years. That's I'm not saying it to get credit. I think it's good. It's good for you to have a philanthropic project. Try to get it in the genes of the company. Today we have 650 people on the stomach there. We have 650 kids that are getting school lunches every day in a small area in Kenya. And we have this Kenya bag that supplies 2,600 people. And that has brought something to the company. We do it for real. We do it together with the customers, so they're paying a lot, and we pay also. But we do it, and we do it for real. I think it's worth much more than just buy a logo of Red Cross and put on your webpage. That's good as well. But if you get it into the genes of the company, it makes something in the company. So I'm going to give you just 30 seconds of a hint of our Kenya project. We took the staff down there for a year,
For a year.
a year ago. Thanks.
Okay. Stay here. Niklas. Fantastic story about rapid scaling. This is really fantastic in 6 years.
Yep.
It's
8 years almost.
8 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do we have any questions here from the audience? So please raise your hand, and we have
At least one question.
Yeah.
At least one.
Yeah,
You
we have
need
one here.
You need to have one. Yeah. Otherwise, I think we have. I think it's nice to see that we can do new markets. So we did Norway successfully. Now we're entering Holland, and we're looking at other countries as well. So that's one of the things we want to do. More countries.
Again.
What do you say?
Oh, maybe. Again.
maybe. But you said that you did not bring any money in early. You did it by growing the company. But lately you have brought in investors.
Yeah, after 3 years we brought in investors.
Yeah.
Because we thought we're a tiny thing in the food area. What if ICA and Co-op just run us over?
Yeah.
So we took in capital after 3 years, and we did another.
How have that influenced the culture of the company, if it has?
Before that, we were very entrepreneurial. We invested everything in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came, we invested more in marketing. It was just the same thing, but on another level.
Okay.
And they were also they have done it's Crandom and Acton. They're really skilled guys, and they put a lot of know-how into our board and energy, and so it's for us it's been just positive. But also we have majority, and then it's easier and stuff like that. So yeah.
Any other question?
So could you imagine moving or start up in the US? I really think that this idea would be amazing in the US. I've been living in the US for 4 years, and I've been trying to look for services like this because I tried them when we lived here in Sweden, and it's such a hustle in Sweden with kids because you need to do their lunches every morning and also when they come home for dinner. But there are no services like this. So I think you should try in the US.
Actually, everyone wants to go to US, and the market is so great. And our Norwegian team, I come back to that. They wanted to. They asked me, could we go to US and check the market out? And I said, no, you're full with Norwegian. We need to get this right. And after some time, they say we're going to go on vacation, and guess where they went? And they checked the market and came back. But everyone wants to go to US, but I don't think everyone could succeed like you will do. But perhaps.
So I have I have a final question. Yeah, it's a question where? Yeah.
Work? Yeah, now it does. Yeah. Okay, I mean, you were pretty disruptive in the industry by starting sort of another kind of logistics reaching the users. But when we talk about different markets, I tend to feel that it's very often difficult to sort of keep your same model in each market. So have you been talking about sort of, how do you keep on innovating? Will you sort of stick with your basic model and just expand internationally, or do you think that it's room for expanding in different ways in different markets?
I mean, food-wise, you have to make it in different ways, but I think you mean.
I mean, as Lina said, I won't be the face in Norway if I'm not doing the food. So for us, that was easy. We're not doing Lina in Norway, but Norway has another culture in eating, so we need to adapt to small things. But if possible, we want to do this one-size-fits-all solution when we decide when to deliver and what to eat. That's kind of the business model in the ground. But you need to adapt in new markets. So the answer is yes.
Thank you very much for coming here. And here with this, you can listen to your customers.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So now you have listened to...